and Tomlin and the Steelers were a little bit off, right? It never felt like they clicked in terms of relationship stuff. The Cowboys had been saying, we're working on some trades. What were the trades they were working on? They brought in guys that were kind of, I don't like to use the word failed first-round picks, but first-round picks that didn't live up to the expectations. Those are the guys they brought in this offseason. And now they trade for George Pickens. They're going to trade for George Pickens. They obviously take a huge chance on him. DK Metcalf is already there. They traded him a second-round pick for him. The question now becomes, how much of an impact will Pickens have on the Cowboys opposite CeeDee Lamb? And is Aaron Rodgers cool with this if he's going to be the quarterback? Because now he's throwing to one guy. Where's the other guy? Who else is out there that's left? Could Pittsburgh now revisit phone calls with San Francisco to use some of the draft capital? Would they consider going out there and trying to trade for a banged-up Brandon Ayuk? And then maybe San Francisco tries to save some money for Purdy. There's a lot of machinations. Again, if you're just tuning in 1 minute ago, Adam Schefter just tweeted, Dallas and Pittsburgh, two pretty significant NFL teams, are working to finalize a trade that will send George Pickens to the Cowboys in exchange for draft compensation, expected to be finalized today. Smalls.
So the Cowboys have been cryptically adamant that they had some stuff in the hopper. So we thought that this was just what the Cowboys do. They talk, and there's not a lot of action behind it. But good for them for going out there and making a move like this, because we always talk about the Cowboys offense and say, what is it? It's Dak to CeeDee. That's it, period. And so giving him another option there, another wrinkle, I think is a smart move for the Cowboys. The Steelers are interesting. They are shockingly the story of the offseason for an organization who's been so steady, who's been so consistent. This is a surprise to me. I know you mentioned the questions that we had around Pickens, but to have this move made when we still don't really know who your QB1 is going to be is a little surprising to me.
I'm also surprised, Smalls, and maybe there's financial reasons. We'll understand this in terms of cap hits. We're just getting this information now. I'm surprised they couldn't figure out a way of finalizing this before this previous draft. Right? So if you're Pittsburgh and you gain an extra pick and you want to maneuver a little bit to move up to get a wide receiver, whatever it may be, that maybe you like a little bit better than anybody else you took. But this is the move that they're making. George Pickens goes from Pittsburgh to Dallas. His career so far, 3 seasons. Played in 17 games, 14 games, so 48 all in, 174 receptions. So obviously he's off to a very good start, 52, 63, 59, and he has over 2,800 yards, 12 touchdowns in 3 years. He is a very good receiver. We know that. Everybody was going crazy about how good of a fit he would be with Russell Wilson on the deep ball and the lob threat. 6'3", 200 pounds, 24 years old, out of Georgia, was a second-round pick in 2022, and now he's going to the Cowboys. And if you're a Cowboys fan, I don't know how you can't like this, because even if he's not a personality fit, let's say, a reliability fit with Pittsburgh, the wake-up call of getting traded, I'm sure they're not giving up a first-round pick to get him. They're probably not even giving up a second-round pick, if I had to guess, to get him. And now you're adding to that wide receiver room alongside CeeDee Lamb. So to me, I think this makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys to roll the dice. I'm not mad at it from a Steelers perspective. I don't understand the now versus before the draft. And I do wonder if there are other things up the sleeves with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this. I'm just looking at their depth chart. If there are any, they drafted Roman Wilson out of Michigan last year. Yeah, they need Calvin Austin. They need another receiver.
This doesn't signal to you that they don't think they're going to land Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Because that's what I think. I mean, if they're bailing on one of their two...
You think they're punting?
Yeah, I think they're realizing, all right, we're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, so what are we doing? Let's try to get some capital from this.
Okay,
we're going to roll with Mason Rudolph.
Let's play that out.
Real quick, if that's the case, then why did you put yourself in this position heading into the draft?
Or why did you trade for DK Metcalf and extend him if you didn't know you had a quarterback? Because DK Metcalf's great and seemingly... like the hardest worker, great guy, like all the positives you want to say about somebody. Yeah. But having a $30 million wide receiver with a stinky quarterback doesn't get you anything, right? Quarterback Rules is featured on ESPN.com.
Twice.
Thank you.
Not once, but twice.
Twice, 2 times. No big deal. State, pay a quarterback to make a wide receiver great. Don't pay a wide receiver to make a quarterback great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's play out the Pat theory on this. Pat has had a tremendous day. Right? Tremendous day.
He's 2 for 2.
Right. What was the first one? I already forgot. Anthony Edwards.
And being coronated too early.
Yeah. Now maybe he doesn't even win a series with Steph out.
And the Pacers being
the hottest team that we should be really thinking about and how good they were down the stretch and winning 6-7 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And now Pat, who's been saying all along Rodgers to the Steelers, is now saying maybe this is the indicator that he's not going to be a Steeler and that they're going to go the other way. If that's the case, you can't stop with Pickens. TJ Watt has to become a conversation.
Just start breaking it down?
Well, no, I mean, if Pat's right and Pickens is the first move towards we're not going to be that good this year, there's no point of spending money on Rodgers. We're going to now take any player that is going to be soon to be contract eligible, even if he's a franchise icon like TJ Watt, and gauge the value. Because I went the other way. I went the other way on this. I went that I believe that Pittsburgh is doing things for Rodgers, and maybe there are other moves here. The other way is also like Pat's way is interesting too. That it doesn't feel like, all right, we traded Pickens and we're just going to sign a straight free agent now. We're going to go get Amari Cooper. Well, that would make some sense, but like you get what I'm saying. Like
we don't have a lot of time, but I think this is a question we have to focus on. Pittsburgh, what's their hit rate when they've gotten rid of wide receivers? I think it's been pretty good. So
That's true.
So I know.
Good point, Nuno.
I see the reaction from analysts being like, "Oh, Cowboys, great trade for him."
Yeah.
The reaction from Cowboy fans is very hesitant
You're right.
now
That's
about
good.
this because Steelers move off you. There's something going on there.
The only one that I would argue with, and obviously playing the results doesn't help, but Plaxico was great early on for the Giants. Plaxico was great. Gary V, scheduled to join us coming up on a day where we've seen since Game 5 between the Pacers and the Bucks. This was insane last night.
Stunning.
Okay, the way I do behind the scenes show prep here, Smalls, for our show, is I'll wait till a game's over, or I'll do running notes on like one notepad and then put it in another one when the game's over to consolidate. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm just gonna start doing my notes for this because this is a blowout. Donovan Mitchell was unbelievable, 48 points. The Pacers did their job. They won a game in Cleveland. I had to redo all my notes because this is stunning. The Pacers beat the Cavs 120-119. The Pacers have won 6 of 7 games in the postseason. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Cavs last night played without 2 all-star players and a third player, all of whom were lottery picks. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter all did not play last night. And while we could sit here and say, well, injuries factored in, of course they factored in, style of play, usage of guys, etc. When the Cavs were up double digits for as long as they were up, and the best player on your team, who is phenomenal, in Donovan Mitchell, has 48 points, 9 assists, 15 of 30 from the floor. And you have, at 114-110, when the game got close, a huge three from Max Strus, where the crowd is going nuts. I don't want to hear about injuries. I don't. That was the Max Strus three at 114-110 was the game winner, except they didn't win the game. That was the game winner, except they did not win the game. Cleveland is up 119-112 with 57.1 to go. Aaron Nesmith has a rebound and a putback. It's now down to 5. Donovan Mitchell has an offensive foul with an elbow in the face. Siakam, all of a sudden, Halliburton, 119-116, 27.1 to go. Strus has an awful inbound pass. Halliburton, fouled, hits the first, misses the second, gets his own rebound, brings it back out, straight away, game-winning 3. In the final 50 seconds of this game, the Indiana Pacers had 8 points, the Cavs had 0 field goal attempts. This was an all-time meltdown by the best team in the Eastern Conference all year. A team that absolutely annihilated their first-round opponent in fashion that we have never seen. The greatest margin of victory ever in a playoff series. The biggest statement of, oh, you don't think we're that good? We just beat a team, I think, by 122 points in one round. And now they're down 0-2 going back to Indiana. The way in which they lost this game, I don't want to hear about injuries. This was a total collapse from a great basketball team.
Yeah, they have been great. And you're right. When you lead 119-112 in the final minute, that's not a, hey, we're banged up, that's the excuse type of loss. That is a, wow, we let our guard down, and Indiana, and specifically Tyrese Halliburton, took advantage of it. And he has been a man on a mission, has he not? He's been amazing. We had the conversation the other day. We did the
Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Chào mừng mọi người đã đến với kênh YouTube của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách tô màu những sản phẩm như hoa quả này, con vật, đồ vật vân vân. Và bây giờ mình sẽ chọn những bút màu để tô các bạn nhé. Các bạn hãy nhớ lắng xem video của mình đến hết. Mình cảm ơn. Và bây giờ mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô màu nào.
Cái này rồi làm. Anh thôi, nghe theo anh chết đói. Nghe theo anh chết đói cái gì? Ta không bảo mày thì mình ngu mình ngẫn rồi. Ngon đi dỗi. Anh theo kinh nghiệm đi ra ngoài đời của anh thì cái bàn này diệt được hết không? Được. Nhưng em chẳng biết cái bàn này diệt vào gì cơ. Thế mà bắn nhẹ thế. Hay quá đuôi. Thế bắn nhẹ thế để làm gì? Cho nó đuôi. Bắn nhẹ người ta bắn nó. Ồ, nè. Ồ. Quay video đi. Đang quay đây. Tô xong cứ để đấy. Mẹ không bật đâu. Thế mà đòi. Thôi. Anh nó đi hết bàn rồi. Thật đấy. Kiểu vì thế cái bọn này thì cứ đi hết bàn. Thế bia này là siêu thì dễ đẹp. Wow. Có kỹ năng đi. Anh là anh. Thì ra là anh nãy đang sắp chuẩn bị xả, anh sang đi xả đúng không? Ta xả mà biết. Anh thấy gì chưa? Nào, nó diệt cái bàn rồi đấy. Con nào nữa? Đây, 9 đây. Ghê vậy. 9 đến 12, 11. Thằng bắt lòi. Ghê vậy. Đuối. Người chơi kỹ năng mà anh. Thật đấy. Kỹ năng rùa. 5 phút rồi chưa vẽ được. Mẹ đúng thật. Được 2 màu rồi đấy. Chả được cái gì. Đấy màu thứ 3 rồi. Tốt nhất là tắt nghe đi. Còn vẽ đỡ phải video.